Okay. Now let's start with the grammar section. Read, the most common causes of automobile crashes again. Find examples of self, selves, because, so, neither, so. 1 minute, please. Now let's start with the reflexive pronouns. We use these kinds or this kind of pronouns when the subject and object are the same. Reflexive pronouns are used when the subject and the object are the same. Look at the example. طبعا these pronouns are myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself. These four, the singular pronouns. Ourselves, yourselves, themselves for the plural pronouns. Look at the example. He likes to look at himself in the mirror. You realize, where's the subject here? Where's the subject? Hmm. He is the subject. Now, where is the object?
himself.
Himself. This is what? The object. So we use here, we use the reflexive pronoun. Why? Because, the subject and the object are the same person, are the same person. He, Ahmed, for example, likes to look at himself. Himself refers to what? To he, to Ahmed. So we use the reflexive pronouns when the subject and object are the same person. Now we have another use for what? For, the reflexive pronouns. You can also use the reflexive pronoun to say that you did something without anyone's help. Look at the example. I cooked the hair dryer myself. I fixed the hair dryer myself. I cooked the food myself. He, for example, did his homework himself. She did her homework herself. So again, we use the reflexive pronouns when you did something without anyone's help. So this about, the reflexive pronouns. I, became what? Myself. He, himself. She, herself. It, itself. You as, singular, yourself. We, ourselves. You as a plural, antum, yourselves. And they, if you want to talk about, people, themselves. So here we have the reflexive pronouns. Now move to the next, subordinate conjunctions. Here we have the subordinate, conjunctions, because and so. Because used with what? To give a reason, to introduce a reason. It tells why. But so introduces, a consequence or a result. So he did something. Look at the example. Again, because is used, to give what? A reason. So is used to give a result or, a consequence. Look at the example. Who can read the example? Who can read the first
Can I
example?
read, teacher?
يلا يا براء.
Most accidents happen because people don't pay attention.
Good.
Uh,
Realize here, most accidents happen. Now why? Because here we have a reason. People don't pay attention. So we use what? Because. Because what? Here we have a reason. So we want to introduce the reason. So we have to use because. Who can read the second example?
Can I read?
Yes.
He didn't turn off the electricity, so he got shocked. He got shocked.
Thank you.
Shocked.
You realize here we have what? A result, a consequence. He didn't, turn off the electricity. So he got a shock. لذلك he got a shock. So he got what? He didn't turn off the electricity. So he got a shock. So here we have a result, consequence. Now, if we change, the order of the sentences, we have to change what? The conjunctions. مثلا, he got a shock. Why? He got a shock because he didn't turn off the electricity. People don't pay attention. So most accidents happen. Now, if we change, the clauses, we have to change what? The subordinate conjunction. So this is about conjunctions. Okay. Now let's move to so and neither. So and neither, both, both of them show agreement with the speaker. If you want to agree someone, you have to use so or neither. So shows what? Agreement with an affirmative statement. Neither shows agreement with a negative statement. And look at the examples. Look at the examples. Who can read the first example?
Can I?
يلا عبد الرحمن.
Okay, can you remove the team's sign, please?
I think it is.
Okay, no, it's good. I'm a careful driver, so am I. I'm not an aggressive driver, neither am I.
That's just read one example, thank you. I'm a careful driver. Is the sentence, affirmative or negative?
Affirmative.
Affirmative. So if it is affirmative, and you want to agree the speaker, you will say so. We have to use so, then the preposition, or let us say the verb. So am I. We bring am from up. We have to use the same the same verb. So am I. Now look at the next one.
Can I read?
Read, yeah. I hurt myself. Read, please. I hurt.
Teacher, can I read?
ضياء يلا ضياء.
I hurt myself all the time. So I do. So do I.
Good. So again, here we have an affirmative sentence. The first one, A, says, I hurt myself all the time. B wants to what? To agree with him. The sentence is affirmative, so we have to use what? So. There's no is or am or. So here we have to derive. نشتق. Hurt, verb 1. So we have to use do. So do I. Okay, what about the third? Who can read the third? Ahmed Khalid?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I burned myself on the stove. So did I.
Now here you realize we have what? An affirmative sentence, but it is what? In the past. If it is in the past, we have to use did. So did I. So did I. Did is taken, was taken from burned, because, it is in the past. I burned, myself on the stove. So did I. وكذلك أنا. Okay, now move to the next sentences. Here we have negative sentences. Who can read? Abdullah Shaath.
I'm not an aggressive
driver.
Neither am I.
Neither am I. You realize here the sentence is what? Negative. If it is negative and you want to agree with him, we will use what? Neither. Then we bring what? The verb am. If there is am, we put am. Then, you know, the pronoun I, the subject. Then neither, verb, subject. Neither am I. Okay, now who can read the second?
Me, teacher.
يلا يا أمير.
I very seldom cut myself. Neither do I.
Good. I very seldom cut. Here we have what? It is simply present. I very seldom cut myself. ولا أنا. Seldom here refers to what? To negative.
Yes, never.
Yes. I very seldom, it means never. I very seldom cut myself. So it means, you know, it means negative. So I have to use what? Neither. Do comes from cut. Cut, you know, verb one, so we have to use do. If it is, you know, verb two, we use did, and so on. Who can read the third? Who can read the
Can I read,
third?
teacher?
Ibrahim. Where is you, Ibrahim?
I'm here. Read the
Yeah,
third.
read.
I burned
I
myself
did-
on the. I
on the
didn't
wet-
sleep on the wet floor.
Neither.
Neither I did.
Neither did I. Again, here, if you want to use so and neither, we need two people. One says the sentence, the second agrees with him. A and B. Look at the last one. I didn't sleep on the wet floor. Neither did I. So he wants to agree with him. The sentence is negative, so we have to use what? Neither. Neither, so then we will bring what? The verb, then the pronoun I. This is about, you know, here we have three structures. The first one is reflexive pronouns. The second is because and so, and the difference between them, conjunctions. The third is, you know, the agreements, you know, the ways that we agree the speaker. Here we have so with, you know, affirmative sentences if you want to show the agreement, and neither with negative sentences. Okay, now move. Look here. Exercise A. Complete the sentences with the correct reflexive pronouns.
Can I answer?
Yes, يلا يا أمير.
1. Sarah cut herself while she was peeling potatoes.
Good. You know, the same subject, the same object. So we can use the reflexive pronoun. And she is what? Female. We put Sarah cut herself while she was peeling potatoes. Number 2.
Which page, teacher?
Page 70. Exercise
Can I answer,
A.
teacher?
يلا يا
Can I answer?
براء.
The instructions on the box say, do it yourself.
Good. Instructions in the box say, do it yourself.
Can I answer?
يلا يا أحمد.
I burned myself when I was making fries.
I burned, yes, myself. You know, the subject and the object are the same. Myself. I directly myself. Where is myself here? Number.
Can I answer?
Number 4. يلا عبد الرحمن.
My grandfather slipped on a rug and hurt himself.
My grandfather slipped on a rug and hurt himself. Good. My grandfather, he. So we use himself.
Can I answer?
Yes.
The people injured themselves when they were escaping from the ball.
Good.
Them-
Thank you, Abdullah. The people injured themselves. Themselves. The people injured themselves when they were escaping from the ball. Okay, number 6.
Can I answer?
Yes.
We were interviewed for a TV show, and last night we saw ourselves on Channel 9.
Good. Thank you. We were interviewed for a TV show, and last night we saw ourselves in, on Channel 9. Good. Write them quickly, please. Okay. Now here we have, join the sentences with so and because. Jake burned his arm. He went to the emergency room. Jake burned his arm, so he went to the emergency room. Now we can say it in another way. Jake went to the emergency room. Why? Because he burned his arm. Now, number 1, the floor was wet. Ahmed slipped and fell. Who can join them? And try. يلا يا ضياء.
Can I write it or it is oral?
Can I?
يلا يا ضياء. يلا ضياء.
The floor was wet. Ahmed slipped and fell. The floor was wet, so Ahmed slipped and fell.
Good. And ممكن we can say Ahmed slipped and fell. Why? Because the floor was wet. So we can write them. That's up to you. You can screenshot. You have a screenshot. Number 2. يلا يا أمير أو سلطان. Where are you, Sultan?
Here, teacher.
Yes, please.
Julian wasn't wearing a seat belt. He hit his head on the windshield. Julian seat belt, so he hit his head with the windshield on the windshield.
We can say it in another way. Julian has hit his head on the windshield because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Good. Number 3. Number 3.
Can I answer?
يلا براء.
Okay, teacher. Number 3.
The child got an electric shock.
Shock because so the child put his finger in the socket.
Because
socket,
here.
okay.
So he got an electric shock. The child put his finger in the socket. So he got an electric shock. The child got an electric shock. Why? Because he put his finger in the socket. And again here, to avoid repetition, we have to use the pronouns. So the child again here, we have to use he. Okay, thank you. Number 4.
Can I answer?
Yes.
Okay. There wasn't any water to put on the fire. We had to use sand. We had to use sand because there wasn't any water to put out the fire.
Good. Or we can say there wasn't any water to put out the fire, so we had to use sand. Good.
Mr. Should we write them because there is no space?
There is no space. I know that. Just picture them. Number 5. Brahim Abdullah fell off his bike. He was riding too fast.
Abdullah fell off his bike because he was riding too fast.
Good. Abdullah was riding too fast because, so he fell off his bike. Abdullah was riding too fast, so he fell off her bike. Abdullah fell off her bike or his bike. Here we have a wrong her. It is written here. It is her, not her, his, because he was riding too fast. The last one.
Can I answer?
يلا read. Ahmed.
Yes. I got my hands all blue. I didn't read the wet paint sign. I got my hands all blue because I didn't read wet paint sign. The wet paint sign.
You know, the first one is so I got my hands all, yes, I got my hands all blue because I didn't read the wet paint sign. If you want to use so, we have to change the clauses. I didn't read, the wet paint sign, so I got my hands all blue. Okay, have a picture for them. Okay. Right. Move
Teacher,
to the next. Yes.
we write them or we just picture?
Picture them. Just, picture them.
Okay.
I think there is no space for writing here. Just you can picture them and, keep them in your mobile. Okay. Now move to the next exercise, exercise C, I think. I didn't want to wake up late. So or because. Complete the sentences with so or for. Because I used to alarm. Well, so I think it is so. I didn't want to.
Yes.
To wake up late. So I used to alarm clocks. I used to alarm clocks because I didn't want to wake up late. Good. Number 2. There.
Yes. Jerry called the emergency number 120 because there was an emergency.
Good. Jerry called the emergency number 1112 because there was an emergency. Good.
Can I answer?
Can I answer, teacher?
يلا يا Amir.
I put my hand under cold running water, so I burned myself.
ولا because أحسن. I think it is because.
Teacher.
I put my hand under cold running water. Why? Because I burned myself. لو كانت I burned myself, so I put my hand under. But because here is the
yes, because.
Think about it. I put my hand under cold running water. Why? Because I burned myself. Number 4.
Can I answer, teacher?
يلا.
More people turned up than I accepted, so I cooked more food.
Good. More people turned up than I expected, so I cooked more food. Good.
Can I answer,
Number
teacher?
5. Ahmed.
Yes. The mosquitoes didn't bite me because I had put on the repellent.
Good. The mosquitoes didn't bite me. Why? Because I put on this, repellent. Good.
Can I answer?
Yes, يلا Abdurrahman, the last one.
There were a lot of accidents at the intersection because they installed traffic lights.
So لذلك هم ركبوا إشارات مرور. So they installed traffic lights. Good. Okay. Write them quickly, please. You did it? Now move to the Last exercise D. We want to use what? The agreement. Show, agreement with the following statements. Look at the example. I always wear a seatbelt in the car. So do I. You realize here we have simple present, so we have to use do. Number 1. I have never had an accident. You realize never is what? Negative. So, will neither.
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 Neither what? ضياء. Neither have I, because here we have.
Number 2 لا إيش.
I need a new pair of sneakers.
I need a new pair of sneakers. So do I.
Good, so do I, because here we have affirmative and need, it is what? Verb 1 here, simple present. Number 3, spent. This is past. Who can do it?
Can I answer this one?
يلا براء.
I spent the evening watching TV. So did I.
Very good. Here we have what? Affirmative and in the past. So we put so did I. Next. Ibrahim.
I didn't know that Ibrahim was in the hospital. Neither did I.
Because here we have what? Negative, and we have did. So we put neither did I. Next, number 5.
Can I answer this one, teacher?
Yes.
I don't want to eat a lot of sugar. Neither do I.
Good. Good. Neither do I. I don't want to eat. Here we have a negative and we have do. We say neither do I. I'm sorry to hear that.
The grammar of this, please.
What?
What is the grammar of this rule? Can you say?
Other agreement. We called it agreement. Okay. If you want to agree someone, you can agree or show agreement with a negative way. We use neither do I, neither am I, or affirmative agreement. We show what? We say مثلا so do I, so am I, etc. So did I. It depends on the sentence itself. If it is negative, we use neither, and the suitable what? Verb will pronoun. If it is affirmative, we use so, and the suitable verb and the pronoun. Next, number 6.
Can I answer?
Read. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to hear that Ali is moving. So am I.
Good. I want to spend my vacation at the beach. Who wants to do it? Here we have present and affirmative.
Can I?
Yes.
I want to spend my vacation at the beach. So do I.
Good. I want to spend my vacation at the beach. So do I. The last, before the last, number 8. يلا يا إبراهيم.
I once broke my arm. So did I.
We used it because the verb here in the past, and it is affirmative. So we use so did I.
Can I answer last?
يلا.
أنا أمير.
Amir, sorry, I'm sorry.
I am not tired even though it's midnight.
Neither
do I.
Do ولا am? Am I? Good. Neither am I.
Am I, yes.
Good. Thank you very much. طبعا here we have if you look at the Classera homework, you will find a homework. Go quickly and do it now. 1 minute, please. I think it is found now. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Then here we have